Do you remember the cartoon about the fish story? In fact, it's a story about all of us. Over the past decades, people have turned into tiny fish in the vast ocean of information. It becomes increasingly difficult for us to concentrate. We switch from one thing to another more often, read fewer books, and spend more time on gadgets. In this video, I will tell you why tomatoes will help you concentrate, what regular breaks have in common with superheroes, and how to improve your concentration. Enjoy watching. If we think about it simply, being focused means paying attention to what you want for as long as you want. It sounds so simple, yet we know that the mind doesn't readily comply when told to focus on something. You try to study, and all you can think about is your friend. Maybe you think she'll be proud if you become a smart person. I hate to disappoint you, but that's unlikely. You need to finish your work, but your mind is immersed in fantasies about the awkward situation that arose yesterday. We've all been through this, sitting at our desks with an urgent deadline and wandering thoughts. Despite all your efforts, things aren't moving forward. You're motivated for it, but you just can't concentrate. The inability to concentrate on the current task is one of the diseases of our time. Sometimes it seems like your brain switches from one task to another so often that if it were an Olympic sport, I would have won a gold medal a long time ago in various task categories. This kind of distraction is just a normal state of mind, and yet it turns out that you can train your brain to focus. No matter how difficult you find it to manage your attention, if you work on it, it will improve. Have you ever thought that concentration and productivity are important aspects of work and goal achievement? Here are some common misconceptions about concentration and productivity that can be debunked. There is a misconception that multitasking increases productivity. That's not true. In fact, multitasking can be detrimental to concentration and productivity. Switching between tasks takes time and effort, which can reduce work efficiency. It's better to focus on one task at a time and complete it before moving on to the next. Some also believe that spending more time working leads to greater productivity. And I know one acquaintance boss who constantly has this thought in mind, though we don't see eye to eye anymore, but it turns out that the quality of work and efficiency don't always depend on the amount of time spent on the task. Regular breaks and proper time allocation between work and rest can help maintain high concentration and productivity. It's a pity that the boss can't grasp this. Then, there are those who believe that working in the evening or at night is more productive. But each person has their own circadian rhythm. For most people, optimal concentration is usually achieved during the day when they feel more alert and energetic. It's important to understand your individual preferences and work accordingly. Another assertion from my work experience states that the absence of breaks and rest increases productivity. And again, this is not true. Regular breaks and rest between tasks help restore concentration and energy. They allow the brain to rest and switch to another activity. Studies show that short breaks can improve cognitive functions and contribute to more productive work. Furthermore, some minds think that the more work, the more productivity. But no, the amount of work is not always an indicator of productivity. The quality of work and goal achievement are more important than mere busyness. It's better to focus on priority tasks and use your time and energy efficiently. It's important to remember that each person is unique, and what works for one may not work for another. Experiment with different approaches and strategies to find your own optimal way to achieve concentration and increase productivity. Here's a clear example for you. The famous Olympic champion swimmer Michael Phelps was someone who always overcame difficulties. In childhood, Phelps had issues with attention span. He was a mischievous boy who enjoyed being the center of attention. I just couldn't sit still because it was hard for me to focus on one thing at a time, Phelps recalls. He often lost focus, got distracted, and couldn't work productively. His real problem was noticed by his teacher. Once in class, he couldn't concentrate on something simple, panicked, and threw a tantrum. At first, it was medication. However, over time, the swimmer decided to change his situation and began to look for ways to change his approach to the problem. He started by studying scientific research and literature on concentration and productivity. He learned that concentration is a skill that can be developed and improved with practice. Phelps is known for his perseverance in the pool. On some days, he swims 6,500 feet. Michael began to apply various strategies and methods to improve his attention. For example, meditation helps Phelps focus on his goals. Before each competition, he swims warm-up laps, then changes into a new swimsuit and puts on headphones for 30 minutes before the race starts and listens to his favorite performers. He began practicing meditation, which helped him calm his mind and focus on the task at hand. He also created a schedule and set strict time frames for completing tasks. This helped him avoid distracting factors and focus on important tasks. Michael also realized that physical health plays an important role in concentration and productivity. He started paying more attention to his sleep, healthy eating, and regular physical exercise. He noticed that when he feels physically strong and energetic, his concentration improves. Phelps. Over time, he developed his own system, which included a combination of these strategies and methods. Thanks to his persistent hard work and constant practice, Michael was able to overcome his concentration problems and become incredibly productive. He achieved great success in his career and was able to win 28 Olympic medals. Michael Phelps' story shows that with perseverance, self-discipline, and the application of correct strategies, problems can be overcome and one can become incredibly strong. There are exercises to achieve mindfulness while performing various tasks, and today I'll introduce you to one of these techniques. It's called the Pomodoro Technique or the Time Interval Technique. It is a time management method that helps increases productivity and focus. It is based on dividing work time into periods called Pomodoros. During each Pomodoro, you focus only on one task, fully immersing yourself in it, and then take a short break. The Pomodoro Technique is the brainchild of Francesco Cirillo, an Italian student from the 80s who was looking for a way to focus on studying, for which he borrowed a tomato-shaped kitchen timer. At the signal of the timer at the end of the interval, it's time for a short break. The length of these Pomodoro intervals varies, but typically it's 20 to 25 minutes of work time and a 5 to 10 minute break. The main thing is to make sure that the time intervals don't turn into hours of daydreaming about what I'll have for lunch. Another variation is a longer period of 50 minutes with a 10-minute break. You can set the timer manually or use special applications. In addition to the timer, you'll need paper and a pen to mark your achievements. On the same piece of paper, you can jot down a wandering thought that came to mind during the work period, or a task that popped into your memory, and at the same time, mark those distracting factors, which can include endless notifications, tea breaks, or reading electronic messages. These will be the disruptive elements of behavior that interfere with true productivity, and the most important thing for this technique is that by default, you should work in a quiet place with minimal distractions. From theory to practice of the method, start by choosing one task you want to accomplish. It could be a project, homework, or any other issue requiring your attention. Set the timer for 25 minutes and start working on the chosen task. During this time, you should be fully focused on it and avoid distractions. During this time, work on the goal you set for yourself. Strive to make the most of your time and be productive, and avoid all distractions. When the timer goes off, take a short break for 5 minutes. Stand up, stretch, take a few deep breaths, or have a glass of water. This will allow you to rest and prepare for the next Pomodoro. And if that didn't help, try watching videos of some cute, crazy supercars. It will definitely make you want to get back to work because you're still thinking that you want one of them. After the short break, repeat the Pomodoro cycles. It is usually recommended to take a long break after 4 Pomodoros of 25 minutes each. The Pomodoro technique helps you focus on the task and use your time more effectively. It also helps prevent burnout, as regular breaks allow your brain to rest. The Pomodoro method can be useful for students, helping them effectively manage their time when completing academic tasks. It helps them focus on the task, avoid distractions, and improve their productivity. They also say it helps them grow excellent grades. In the workplace, the technique can be beneficial because dividing work time into Pomodoro intervals helps focus on the task, improve planning, and time management. Regular breaks also help prevent fatigue and maintain high work efficiency, and regular breaks are like superheroes because they fight and support. In everyday life, you can also apply it. For example, you can use it for household chores, sports activities, reading books, or learning new skills. By breaking down your tasks into Pomodoro intervals, you can more effectively use your time and achieve your goals. It's important to note that the Pomodoro technique is not a one-size-fits-all solution for everyone in every situation. Some people may find it more convenient to use other time management methods. However, many find the technique useful and effective in increasing their productivity and time management. Let's also briefly stop at other well-known methods for enhancing attention concentration. There is, for example, the 2-minute rule method. This technique involves completing any task that can be done in 2 minutes immediately to avoid accumulating small tasks that slow down productivity. But here's the trouble. It turns out I don't have any tasks that can be done in 2 minutes, except maybe eating 2 dumplings. So now I sit all day and think about what other tasks can be solved in 2 minutes, just not eating dumplings. You can also brew tea or calculate the gravitational impact on the environment. Here is a brief description of the chunking method. You need to break down tasks into smaller chunks and set strict deadlines for their completion. This will help you focus on one task at a time and do it more systematically. There is also the time blocking technique. In this technique, you need to reserve specific parts of the day for completing specific tasks. For example, you can use the morning hours for the most difficult tasks when your mind is clearest and able to concentrate. Personally, I start my morning with the most difficult tasks. Attempts to put in contact lenses to see in color in the morning, not like like an abstract artist in a black and white palette. Afterward, you can move on to practicing meditation and breathing exercises. These methods can help improve your ability to concentrate and manage stress, which ultimately improves your productivity. Be patient and find the methods that work best for you. Everyone is unique, and it's important to find your own approach to increasing attention, concentration, and productivity. While practices of attention concentration can be beneficial, it's important to be aware of potential difficulties you may encounter. Your mind may wander, and distracting thoughts may arise, especially in the initial stages. Impatience might arise. Improving attention concentration takes time and effort. Don't get discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Some may experience physical discomfort. Some techniques, such as meditation, may cause it, especially if you're not used to sitting still for extended periods. You may face internal resistance when trying to focus. It's normal, but it's important to keep practicing. Remember individual differences. What works for one person may not work for another. Experiment with different methods to find what works best for you. If you encounter difficulties, don't give up. Remember that developing attention concentration is a gradual process. Keep practicing, and over time you'll notice improvements. And in conclusion, let's recap the key points about attention concentration techniques. Identify distracting factors and eliminate them. Practice mindfulness and presence. Use techniques such as meditation and deep breathing exercises. Remember, potential benefits of improving concentration lead to increased productivity and efficiency, improved decision-making, reduced stress and anxiety. Try out these techniques and share your results in the comments. Let's improve our ability to concentrate and achieve big goals together.